Hello and what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. Today we're doing a quick unboxing of this package I just received from Amazon. I'm thinking it might be a knife, very likely, right? Might be a knife here, so I'm gonna go ahead and unbox it, share with you guys my raw first impressions as I typically do in this channel. If you're new around here, welcome. My name is Miguel and we make EDC content, which you're absolutely going to love. So definitely consider subscribing if you enjoy knife and EDC gear content like this on a daily basis. Smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And without further ado, I'm going to use my Flissa Multitool. I've recently been kind of in a renaissance of love, falling back in love with multi-tools. Been trying to carry multi-tools a little bit more, right, than usual. So just trying to give them some love. May have some new multi-tools coming to the channel here soon. So stay tuned for that. And of course, this multi-tool, this knife, every other product that you see in this video will be linked down below. So if you're interested in checking prices, availability, variants, right, and all that good stuff, then definitely absolutely check those links. It does help out the channel at zero extra cost to you. Without further ado, if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Here we go. Boom. We got a black box. Let's find out where it's from. Boom. We got the Founding Forgers, right? This is a new knife from them. This is the BEEFBOY. The Stun EDC, Stonewash, I'm sure, right? Cuts off EDC knives for mint new. So it's always interesting how they put those labels. Obviously, these are made overseas in China, right? Pretty affordable budget EDC. I will say this, the last Founding Forgers knife that I got a chance to look at on D2 Steel is this guy right here. It was a very, very interesting knife. I actually use this one outside a lot. You can see how it has some, wear marks and things like that. Cutting up a bunch of different bags open, right? Getting some, I was doing a little bit of backyard work with some dirt and stuff like that, compost soil, if you would. So I was cutting up different bags and stuff. And yeah, this guy came handy. And it is D2 steel, which is not corrosion resistant, but this black coat really helped a ton. So I'm excited to find out what this guy is. So let's just go ahead and use this guy while it's in hand. And let's cut through this package and find out what this new model is all about, right? We said it was the BEEFBOY, right? I got some beef with this guy. I got some beef with this knife. Here we go, right? Got the eagle right there, built for the brave. All right, here we go. Boom, I got some magnetic box and bam. All right, we got the warranty, lifetime warranty information, all their socials right there if you guys want to take a look. And without further ado, here is the knife, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So we're going to cut straight to the chase here, right? Box knife, one hand out, right? Just straight to the point. So this one is a, let's see, flipper deployment. We got an opening pill shape hole. It looks like we have a new logo, right? This is now a kind of eagle logo there in the pivot, whereas we didn't have one before. It was actually printed on the blade, as you can see there. All right, we have a flipper tab. The original one was jimped. It looks like this one is not. All right, we'll see how that feels. That actually protrudes out quite a bit. We have a savage looking blade here, kind of rhinoceros looking blade. So that should be interesting. And G10 handle sandwich construction, right? Obviously steel liners with some standoffs there, as you can see, and some smaller T6 hardware. Right off the bat, I'm seeing the tip down carry. Well, yeah, a tip down carry, which is not reversible. So I think so far, I mean, obviously this was a great decision on the original one. Most people prefer the tip-up carry, right? That's obviously a better way to carry a knife, meaning the pocket clip, once you put the knife in your pocket, the tip is basically pointing up. So it's called tip-up carry. Whereas here you have, right, once the knife is in your pocket, you have tip-down carry. So, and it's not reversible. So that's something to keep in mind there, right? I much typically prefer, right, like 99 times out of 100, a tip-up carry situation. But with that in mind, let's go ahead and deploy this guy. Just took a little peek of the blade there, so you know we're working with something beefy, if you know what I mean, right? The BEEFBOY. Bam! Holy macaroni. This thing is savage, right? Right off the bat, this thing is looking savage. We got flat grind going on here. It is a Stonewash black. It is D2, all right, D2 steel on this one. Gotta give it a nice little wipe there. So it is nice and clean. Got the BEEFBOY printed right there on the blade. D2 steel, right? So a little bit of billboarding, but at least it's not on the show side. It is a liner lock, so we do have good access to that liner. It is also nice and jimped there, okay? Check out the lockup. That's a lockup there is about maybe 80% of the way in. So that's interesting there. It's actually a little bit more further in that you typically would see on a liner lock or frame lock. All right, it is on, I want to say, yes, it is on ball bearings. All right, so it's a little bit of a shake shutter. So I'm going to keep flipping it here. So again, typically we'll love some jimping on the flipper, but because it protrudes out so much, right, it actually works either way. A little bit of a shake shutter there. Let's try the Spidey flick. Oh man, that detent. You gotta give it the beans on the Beef Boy in order to get it deployed. Oh man, okay. So yeah, definitely a little bit more of a strong detent there on the pull for the Spidey flick with my thumb now. There we go. All right. Still gotta calibrate the fact that I had to give it, you know, a little bit more juice than most other knives. All right. Oh, gotta love the sound on that. Listen to the acoustics there, guys. Whoops. Boom. It's got a nice little twack to it. All right, so acoustics are good, especially on the thumb deployment. Yeah, thumb deployment here takes the cake on the acoustics department. Yeah, that sounds really good. So there we go. All right, let's check out ergonomics then, shall we? All right, so standard grip is here. That flipper tab, all right, love it or hate it, it's gonna sit pretty tall there. It's gonna work as a finger guard. I want to say this scenario here is wide enough, at least for me, with my average size hands, that accommodates for almost 2 fingers, but not quite. I want to say my middle finger is a little bit on this peaky section there, but all other fingers follow suit. It feels pretty good, honestly. Let's see. Yeah, if anything, I'm just feeling this peak here a little bit more, only because it just happens to fall right there on the middle finger, right, a little bit. But yeah, still able to get a good grip on it here. Pocket clip, because it's basically in the different location than what I'm used to. I actually don't feel the pocket clip all that much. It's a good 9.5 out of 10 there. And you can also forward choke on this guy. So that's the part where I'll say, in most cases, I'm going to be forward choking here, right? It's not the biggest finger choil, but you can definitely forward choke on this guy. Get a little bit more of a control cut going if you wanted to. No jimping on the spine. I feel like maybe a good jimping here would have helped. Then you got this section right here, this rhinoceros looking section right there. I'm sure that's maybe for placing your thumb like that. So that's an interesting way also to carry your cut as you would. Kind of gives me a very cleaverish geometry vibes, right? So kind of like a cleaver, right? What are you going to call this? Reverse tanto, but what do you classify this curve at? So I'm just going to go with a modified cleaver, right? And then the blade police can, you know, fight it in the comments there. But yeah, definitely very interesting design here. I'm thinking there's definitely a market for people who do enjoy more beefy knives, if you know what I mean. Definitely has a wide handle, right? So it's going to be a little bit on the wider side of things. And the blade is also a little bit on the thicker end of things as well. So that's just a couple of things to consider there. So basically you're looking at a thickness on that blade of 0.14. That's a little bit on the thicker side. Average in the channel is 0.12. And the handle is 0.57, which is a little bit thicker than the average 0.5 in the channel. But again, you know, nothing too crazy. Just know, obviously, it's going to be a beefy boy, right? Because it's in the name. One thing for sure, though, you'll be able to use, there's some belly, right? A little bit of belly to that blade. You also have a utilitarian tip right there you could use for draw cuts, utility cuts, and things like that. So that's going to come pretty handy there for sure. Let's do some size comparisons, right? Shall we? Let's start with that here. All right, you can see more of that side profile. Again, this is the OG Founding Forgers knife I got a chance to check out. Drop point blade, right? Tip up carry, black G10 D2 steel blade as well. Go ahead and throw the Flissa Multitool in there because why not? We just used it to open up the package. So yeah, it's gonna be very comparable to the OG knife, right? And obviously a little bit bigger than the Flissa Multitool. Let's check out some of the usual suspects here in the channel. We got the Spyderco Yojimbo 2, the Manix 2. Those are going to be a little bit bigger, right? Just a hair. Demko AD 20.5 and the Shark Cub Stealth. Take a look at those, right? It's actually going to be a little bit bigger than the Demko AD 20.5 and obviously bigger than the Cub. Civivi Vision FG and Kizer Militaw. So those are going to be a little bit bigger, right? You can see there side by side, you know, just a little bit. And here's the CJRB Hectare Alt. All right, it's going to be a little bit shorter. And the very popular Raccoon. All right, so take a look there for yourself. But again, hopefully you own some of these knives so you have more or less of idea, ballpark, where this guy lands. Let's, of course, do our scientific cutting test here. Got a piece of textbook paper, right? I'm going to go ahead and do some slices there. Bam, right? Going through that paper pretty well, right? Very effortlessly. There we go. All right, pretty toothy edge going on there. Bam, right? Boom. Wouldn't you know it, ladies and gentlemen, it cuts paper. Yeah, is it going to cut paper? Obviously, yes, all day, every day. What about some cardboard? I got a single wall piece of cardboard here. Remember, when cutting cardboard, don't cut perpendicular, but rather at an angle. So it should look something like this. Wow. All right, that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty effortless from the Beef Boy. Look at that. One last one. There we go. Boom. So is it going to cut? You absolutely bet that it definitely will. I also like the black stone wash here. It's looking pretty good. It's going to be able to camouflage any like scratches or wear and stuff over time, which is a good thing. This is a factory edge, of course. You just saw me take this thing out of the box. So you guys rate it in the comments on a scale from 1 through 10. How sharp is this guy, right? All right, how sharp is the edge that it comes with? You guys let me know. Well, there you have it, guys. Just a quick overview, first impressions on the Founding Forgers Beef Boy, right? A couple of things going on here that I think might be, I don't know, that may not necessarily, that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of. I think the tip down carry, right, situation is a no-go for me. But I know there's people out there that do enjoy a tip down carry. The best way to do Founding Forgers, if you're watching this video, I hope that you are. A lot of companies do different mounting positions. So if people want to do tip up carry, right, they can. If you want to do tip down carry, right, there are the holes for that. But in most cases, I mean, I will say about maybe 90 to 95% of the knife that I feature in this channel, most of them, right, I think the industry as a whole has moved to tip up carry pocket clips. So the pocket clip will be right in this scenario here, so that the knife, when it sits in the pocket, the tip will be facing up, and of course it will be reversible, at least tip up reversible. But if you wanted to do the whole spectrum, then you could do tip down reversible as well, like on this Yojimbo tool, right? You have the ability to carry it however you like, because you have basically the holes everywhere. But at the very least, right, I would say tip up carry is a must. Here we don't have that option. It's also not reversible because the pocket clip happens to land on the where the pivot is. So for me, this should be up here, right, for a tip up carry experience. Other than that, honestly, everything else is pretty, you know, interesting. I thought, you know, the jimping here, right, I would have an issue with because it's not jimped, but the flipper does work pretty good, so that's nice. Everything else is good. The action, the D10 is pretty strong there, and it cuts really good. So you can forward choke on it. Very interesting, savage looking geometry to it. Definitely something out of the ordinary for sure. And I know that this design language here is going to speak to a lot of people out there who definitely dig this sort of design. But yeah, just in general, right, I think as far as EDC knives go, the tip up carry, that's about the only nitpick. But again, this is just an unboxing first impressions video. I will be carrying this guy here for some time. I'll be gathering my feedback, right, all the feedback I possibly can for a review video. So if you're not yet subscribed, this will be a great time to do so. I upload videos on a daily basis, so definitely make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on those. Smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really helps the video reach a larger audience. And a huge shout out to my Patreon supporters right here on the screen. Really means a lot. They support what I do here on YouTube. You guys can also support the channel on Patreon or right here on YouTube by becoming a channel member. You'll get access to exclusive perks. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts and question about this one in the comments. All right, let's definitely hang out in the comment section down there. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you made it to the end, you are the real MVP. Thank you so much for your love and support. It means the world to me. Check out the unboxing on the original Founding Forgers knife right there. And check out this other video right here that YouTube thinks you're really going to enjoy watching next. Have a wonderful rest of your day, guys. Thank you so much for your love and support. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next video, either this one or this one. Peace.